My name is Sadiq Jawad Sulaiman. I am from Oman, and I've just entered into my 80th year. I do see this stage of life as very interesting in many ways. I hope one can keep one's health and, of course, awareness of the world around us.
Today's world is becoming more aware of Oman. In the 19th century, it ruled over an empire stretching from the Arabian Peninsula down the east coast of Africa. But Oman fell into feudalism and isolationism until 1970, when Qaboos bin Zayed overthrew his father to become the Sultan. He boosted spending on health, education, and welfare. And now, once again, Oman is ready for the world stage.
I have remembrances from 1940, and I can tell you it's another country, almost you might say, in terms of what development has taken place. But in terms, as I say, of the other aspect of it, which is the change and evolution in the social, political aspects of life, mostly, it's been rather slow.
Oman has remained under the world's radar the past few decades, while in the neighboring United Arab Emirates, Dubai has become a mecca for tourists. Now, Oman is carefully laying out its welcome map. This country of untouched beauty is seeking to strike a balance basic to all humanity.
There are two things every human being is engaged in all the time. One is to preserve oneself, the other is to enhance your fortunes.
A joint concert between universities a world apart, Sultan Qaboos University in Muscat and the College of William and Mary in Virginia. Some of the Americans indistinguishable from Omanis. It's the kind of harmonic relationship the country is encouraging.
In Oman, we have this kind of idea that we really want to develop tourism, but not to open up too widely, and so we lose our identity and our core, like the traditions, the history itself. So it's like we are kind of open up to the outside world, but at the same time we are keeping up our traditions and whatever makes us unique in front of the whole world.
Oman is meticulously restoring its forts and castles that date back to the 16th and 17th centuries.
We lived here 16 years ago and it was just a wreck then, and someone said they've nearly finished it, so we thought we'd come up and have a look.
In the ancient souks, tourists are able to buy handcrafted silver made here.
I make many pendant, necklace, earring, coffee pot.
Tourists flock to the goat markets. And the country showcasing remote villages.
Would like to eat. And here the ladies make the sandalwood. Either sandal and with the za'afran as a makeup. So they bring it as a piece. They bring it as a piece from outside, from the holes there. Okay?
Such attractions stand out in today's interconnected countries.
There are more interconnected now than they have ever been. The systems are the same.
culture, heritage, ecotourism. That's what Oman is promoting in 10 marketing offices overseas, covering most continents. Most of the people who answer the call are from Europe and the Middle East.
It was easy coming into Oman from UAE. The drive was good, roads are good, the view was excellent. Cutting through the mountains and all, it was nice.
Just a 5-hour drive from Muscat. Dubai, shiny and new. Shopping malls are the center of activity here. While Muscat restricts tall buildings, Dubai breaks records for heights.
Having big landmarks like the Burj Khalifa, for example, the tallest building in the world, and other famous hotels does help in focusing attention on Dubai and the UAE. However, people in the UAE have high affinity for tourism and they welcome travelers. And I think that's very important in tourism, to have the local environment be receptive and welcoming.
Why, from Japan, did you decide Dubai for New Year's?
Because I always wanted to come, then see all the tallest towers and desert.
Every year they increase the size of the fireworks.
For us, I think it's Dubai is Arabs' New York.
Dubai is a unique case. In some ways, I do appreciate and admire it. And I admire it in this sense, that Dubai, with its commercial approach, let us say, has been able to bring together people from all areas of the world and somehow created a society which revolves around what people do rather than what people think. So if you walk in a mall, say in Dubai, you will find all kinds of people. And there will be people who even cannot talk to one another, but they all live the same lifestyle.
There are pressing economic reasons for Oman to develop its tourist sector. Half of the country's citizens are under 20 years old. In the next 5 years, they will need 1 million jobs.
Secondly, oil sector and gas are going to exhaust one day. So diversing the economy or even reducing the dependence on oil, I think the tourism sector is going to help a lot.
Responding to the urgency, in 2001, the government opened the Oman Tourism College and instituted a Bachelor's of Tourism at Sultan Qaboos University. But in spite of all the efforts, little more than 2 million tourists have discovered Oman in even the best year, compared to 10 million for Dubai.
It's almost 10 years, and we reached just this amount. No, the idea is not the quantity. The idea is the quality of the tourist or the type of tourist we are looking for. That's why Oman is one of the most expensive tourist destinations around the world.
Quality, not quantity, key in the Omani way of life.
You have to have a vision where you are going. And the vision always connects with where you have been before. So the Omanis, when they chart their own vision, they always remember who they are, where they have come from, what this country was about.
What Oman is about suits these Canadian expats working here more than a year.
Maybe it's something to say about the Abadi sect, which is the Islamic religious sect dominant here in Oman. You'd see that they're much more tolerant than other countries in the region. So you're not in Saudi, where the Wahhabi movement, with their different view or interpretation of Islam, is taken to be extreme.
The Abadi sect is so welcoming and open to others and warm and kind. It's an Arabic hospitality. Everyone talks about it, but it's over the top. It's like you show an interest in something and they welcome you like you're one of their own. It's really incredible. Yeah.
And that's what we call hurma, meaning it is forbidden for you to do anything that's harmful to the other person. We cannot do that. But if you just stand there and say, okay, I'm not harming anyone, fine, no. The other responsibility is to raise that person.
After lunch, and they will come back at 4 o'clock. They have Thursday market, especially Thursday market also for the cattle.
Aspects of Omani society will inevitably change as more tourists arrive and the governing powers evolve. Sultan Qaboos is in his 70s with no heir to the throne.
No one person should be allowed to dictate. So in other words, we have to be able to decide things that relate to the public domain in a democratic way.
According to the ambassador, whether change in Oman or anywhere is for the better depends on something simple.
We can only self-fulfill and self-realize ourselves by being more human and humane. There is no other way. You see? No matter what we build around us, what matters is how you evolve from inside.